What's up, everybody? Welcome back to video number 2 on the channel here. Today we have our exaggeration speech. Very big, very bold. It's going to be a fun speech, so I had to bring it out to a different location. Fun, big, bold location. Out here on the west side, we call this road Green Valley. It's a road that connects two small towns in our area. And it's pretty dangerous road, I'm not going to lie. It's a very twisty, very bumpy, and people like to drive it way too fast. Part of that being you're going to have to excuse the traffic going by in today's video. That's inevitable. Unfortunately, I don't have the power to close down the road. But let's jump right into things here. So, for starters, I'm sure most of you drive or have driven. And do you ever really think about that every time you get in that car, it's really dangerous? Could be your last, really. Could be your last time doing anything. Getting in that car, that could be the last decision you ever make was to get in that car. So, continuing here, this road is a specific location relating to cars for me. Obviously, as you watched my first video, I'm a car guy. You can see my car over there. And continuing, like I said, this road is a very significant location for me relating to cars because this road I had a very scary experience on. So let's not delay, let's flip right into things here and get started with the story. So one night, junior year of high school, me and some friends decided to go grab some food. We went to the McDonald's out in Covington, for those of you who are from the west side. We went out there, me and my friend in his WX, and then me and two of my other buddies and his Ford Mustang. So we went to McDonald's, had our dinner, whatever. It was about 9 o'clock at night. Not really dinner, I guess it was just food. We went about 10 o'clock at night, and we were coming out, and some kids that were a year younger than us that we kind of knew but weren't really friends with were waiting out there for us in their 1987 Nissan 300ZX. So that's an older car. And they only had their license for about like 3 months, not very long at all. And they asked if we wanted to go cruise Green Valley, which is the road I'm standing on right now. We were like, yeah, sure. Never turned down a Green Valley cruise, but we're smart-ish and know that you're not supposed to be blasting this road. It's bumpy, it's twisty, scary road to drive. So we were in front in his WX, and then the kids were behind us in their Nissan, and then behind them was the Mustang. So we were coming down this road, doing our thing. It was wet, it was dark. At this point, it's about 10 o'clock, or 10:45 at night, almost 11. It's wet, it's dark. Like I said, this road's very bumpy and very twisty. We got all the way to here, about 3/4 of the way down the road, if you're running it from Covington to Black Diamond. About 3/4 of the way down the road, and these kids who had only had their license for about 3 months in their Nissan, if you don't know, a Nissan 300ZX is rear-wheel drive, which means only the rear tires spin. So they decided that they were going to pass us on that corner right there. And if you take a look down the road, that's a blind corner in the rain on a very bumpy road, like I said. So they decided they were going to pass us, and with their minimal driving experience, they lost traction and spun out. Well, after they spun out, instead of letting off the gas like you're supposed to do when you start to spin out, they kept it floored. And with the car being floored, the wheels just kept spinning, and they went backwards into that ditch right up there. You can probably barely see it. There's a ditch up there right around the corner. They went backwards into that ditch, and a 300ZX has a glass roof, if you didn't know that, if you don't have the convertible. So they went backwards into that ditch, like I said, coming in like this, if this is the back of the car, backwards. They hit the edge of the ditch, went up and over, landed on their roof. Like I said, we were flipping right into things. So they flip, land on their roof, and somehow managed to land right on a fence post, a big 4x4 fence post. The fence post landed right in between the two passengers, right in between the driver's seat and passenger seat. Somehow did not hit either of them. The roof was destroyed because it was a glass roof and the car was upside down. We immediately pulled over, jumped out of my friend's WX. I told him to call 911 and let them know what happened, as we needed, obviously we thought that they were seriously hurt because they just rolled the car, and told them that we needed an ambulance. As he did that, I ran up to the car and I saw that the car had begun to smoke, which I immediately thought the car was on fire. So I tried to open the door, pulled, and the doors were crushed because there's a glass roof, so the whole top of the car was just crushed down. So my first reaction was to pull out my knife and smash the window. I smashed the window and reached in, unbuckled them, and pulled them both out of the car. Got them out, laid them down on the road, and had to make sure that my friends blocked off the road down right about here where I'm standing, to make sure that no other cars came zooming up the road and caused more of an accident. So the car's laying upside down right over there. They're both out of the car bleeding from their heads because they did hit their heads pretty good because, like I said, there is no roof. However, that fence post somehow managed not to hit either of them. At this point, we were pretty freaking out. That's a pretty scary experience to watch two people flip a car right in front of you. And from there, we had to call their parents and wait for the police and the ambulance to arrive. Okay, moving on after the crash. So like I said, we have my acquaintances laying on the road up here, and the road's kind of blocked off so that nobody comes zooming around the corner and causes more trouble. We had to call their parents, and like I said, I was just kind of acquaintances with these people. I didn't really know them that well, so I'd never met their families before. So the first time I was meeting their families, I was calling them to tell them that their kid just rolled a car and almost died. So I figured it's easier to show you guys what I was explaining to their parents by walking along with me. So I've got the camera off the tripod here. I'm gonna grab it off the hood and we'll walk down the road so that you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So I called their parents, get them up on the phone. Never met these people before. I'm like, hey, my name's Kyler. I kind of know your kid, and he was out driving with us, and there was an accident. I told them where we were and told them what had happened. But once they got here, it was easier to just show them than to try to explain it to them. So like I said, crash happened up there on that corner. So their parents are here with me now, and I'm walking the parents down the road. Walking the parents through here, and right about here is where the accident started to happen. They passed us right back there, and this is where he lost traction and started to spin. So I'm walking with the parents, and as you can imagine, you're a parent right now whose kid is upside down, whose kid's car is upside down up there, like you saw in the pictures previously. And the kids are in the ambulance getting treated while the police are here also talking to my other friends. So I'm walking with the parents up this road right here, just walking along, and I'm trying to explain to them, you know, this is where your son lost traction. And he, instead of letting off the throttle, stayed pinned, which is what caused the accident. Kept walking down the road, and once we get up about here, I explained to the parents that this is where your son went backwards. And as you can see, that's a pretty good distance. They managed to go backwards from pretty far. If you can see that road sign right there, they managed to go backwards all the way from that road sign all the way up there to that ditch. So I'm explaining to the parent, as you can imagine, you're the parents right now, that your kid just went backwards down this road. So now after I talked to the parents, I had to talk to the police. And to the police, this doesn't look like a great situation because there's 3 cars, 2 of them pretty decently modified, out here on this road that is known for racing. People do race this road. Not that we do that, but people do race this road. And as you can see, low cars are pretty common on this road. And we were out here with 2 lowered cars and a third that was upside down. So it did look like that we were racing. And part of the issue was that could have been bad for us because the police could have thought that we were racing, and which is obviously not legal. So the police were talking to us, and I walked the police down the same road that I just walked you guys down, and told them the same thing, just like that, just the same thing I told the parents. Thankfully, one of the police officers was a car guy and realized that these cars are way too low to be going that fast down this road on. So he kind of cut us a break there and was like, look, I know you guys weren't racing, so I'm not even going to entertain that topic. They seem like they were trying to show off, and we're just being dumb, which is exactly what happened. So, wrapping things up, the car eventually got flipped over. They got taken to the hospital, and we were kind of all let off because obviously we didn't do anything. But I gotta switch hands here. My arm's getting tired. The moral of the story here is this event has really changed my driving perspectives. It changed then, and it still affects me every day. I mean, being out on this road's a little scary, as kind of dumb as that sounds, but I did almost watch 2 kids die on this road, and it truly was terrifying. So being back here is a little scary. Not that I'm not here frequently, I live by here, but being here, spending time here is a little scary, and it definitely has changed my driving habits and will definitely change how I view driving for the rest of my life. So I look forward to seeing everybody in the next video. Till then, have a good day. Hopefully I get to see you on a more positive note next time.